Wie der Mensch denkt, so gestaltet er sein Leben.
How a person thinks determines how he lives his life. Eddie Meier, born 3.2. 1937, Niederflachs 1253, Bülach, written in November 1949.
Translated with Google Translator. This is only an excerpt from the book.
Creation Energy Teaching Simple Thoughts. Creation Energy Teaching Symbol, Thoughtlessness.
Taught through the teachings and wisdom of Plejaren Svarth, and reproduced in his own words, as well as reviewed and checked for accuracy, and thus found to be entirely correct. Man's creative energy consciousness is a dominant energy and force with which he forges his life and creates everything. He is creative energy in his consciousness, and the more he uses it and employs it as a tool of his thoughts, the more he creates what he wants. And the more he does this in a positive, neutral and balanced way, the more surely he brings himself thousands of joys, just as he wins much respect, affection, love, much approval and blessings from his fellow human beings, just as he creates many successes and happy, peaceful and calm moments in his life and for all his fellow human beings, but especially for those with whom he deals, if he uses and utilizes his consciousness energy in the right way. But he brings and gains a great deal more, such as respect for and care of the planet, of all ecosystems, of nature and its fauna and flora. If, however, he directs his thinking in a negative and unneutral way, then he reaps thousands of different kinds of suffering, failures, aversions, disapproval, as well as evil, badness, lack of love, hatred, and evil. Whatever a person thinks in secret, what his thoughts, wishes, words, and actions are, they show what his character is. His attitude to life, way of life and living conditions, his respect for life, which he cherishes and cultivates, for they are nothing other than the mirror of his thinking, his thoughts. What else needs to be said about this concerns a person's memory, which has nothing to do with the fact that all knowledge is stored in the block of creative life energy. For the purely material functions of the brain are designed to store the life-related memory factors and the memory of the living body, or rather the brain, of the entire organism, as well as the high and low values of character, behavior, ethics and morals, etc. These values, which are formed through education and self-education, and thus through learning, and which are stored in the material brain as values and non-values, determine the earthly nature of man, thus the manner of his behavior and his body memory. This is separated from the creative life energy, which stores the learned, real and true knowledge within itself, and expands this inexorably when it works in the next personality through the allocation in the form of consciousness. What is stored in the creative life energy itself corresponds to a creative energy memory, which only stores the evolutionary values. Consequently, the new personality is not burdened in any negative way by its consciousness, and can develop further according to the given level of the given conscious knowledge. The decisive factor here, however, with regard to further evolution, is the extent and type of education, and the absolutely unavoidable self-education. Before all of the following is said and explained, it should be mentioned that man must organize his thoughts correctly and apply them in such a way that he nurtures and cultivates independent trains of thought, and this in accordance with all correctness of personal, and therefore absolutely not in any form of external mental influences of education, nor from hearsay and any religious and worldly belief, nor from indoctrination and whisperings, etc., but only always oriented towards all values of reality and its truth, as well as the far-reaching and also always given and valid ethics and morals. It should be explicitly stated at the outset, when religious, sectarian and secular forms of belief are attacked, in connection with sectarianism, religions and worldly views, etc., then these forms of lies, deception, fantasy, imagination, and hallucinations filled with illusions, erroneous and confused visions, which cloud people's beliefs and prevent them from thinking freely and independently, are denounced. This does not vilify the person who has fallen for a belief of any kind, but rather reveals the truth about the lies. And that all of this is just lies, and sexually deviant ones at that, is proven by Christianity through its alleged origin story of humanity on earth. It could not be more primitive and stupid to win over believers by making fun of them, who only believe and only pretend to think, but do not have their own open, good, correct, free and clear thoughts, because they are obviously not capable of thinking independently. However, it would be urgently necessary to have one's own and completely free thoughts, because then it would be understood that every belief leads one astray, blatantly denies the effective truth and calls it a lie,